All right, greetings. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in from in the world. This is Nancy Rebecca with Intuitive Mind. I've been teaching intuitive psychic development for a little over 25 years now. And as a clairvoyant, I've been really studying the human energy field and the dynamics of the human energy field and how the world impacts us in our human energy field and we impact the world. So, good morning, Amy on YouTube. So, I'm live on YouTube and Facebook, giving you all just a couple of seconds to start joining me and finding me. So, the talk I'm giving today is laughing in the dark. But before I go there, I just want to uh, just do a little acknowledgement of the tragedy that's happening in Turkey. And the reason why I want to mention this is because the message that I just want to send out is that prayers do work. If we're thinking about frequencies and we're thinking about quantum physics, and if you can have a thought and you can move energy, your prayers can be released up to the universe with the intention that it goes where it is most needed. And you can be, very descriptive in what it is that you want to say and have prayers go to. So really allow yourself to take some time to do that over the next few days because it is a tragedy. So getting back to my talk today, it's wonderful to see you. Hi, Rebecca and Heather. Hello, Leanne. Happy Thursday to you all as well. Good evening from Thailand. I just heard from someone in Scotland who said, who wrote a comment on my blog post that was sent out saying, your messages reach far and wide. So that was really heartfelt. Hi from Vancouver Island. So let me hop in here to talk about this subject for the remember last week I talked about the frequency forecast for February. And, there's definitely these time warpish things that are happening. Time and space continuum is changing. We've talked about past lives collapsing. There's a lot there. If you didn't hear the talk or you want to know more detail, you can go to my website, intuitivemind.org, click on blog, and then you can get the latest write-up that I did about that. So what I'm going to talk about now is what do I mean by laughing in the dark? So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about what happens to your human energy field. So for me as a clairvoyant, when I'm looking at you and talking to you, I can see your aura. If you say you're depressed, what does your aura look like? If it's anxious, if it's fearful. But the big thing we're going to focus on is what does seriousness look like in the human energy field? What happens to your body when it comes to, those kind of different energies of depression and anxiety? We're only going to just do an honorable mention, but we're going to talk about more about how laughter helps with the human body. I'm going to just talk about the enemy of laughter, and and we're going to follow it with a meditation. So, hi, we're already up to 43, and I know many, many, many more of you will be watching the replay later. So, laughing in the dark, what do I mean by that? Well, Spirit's been telling me we really, really have to start being a lot more active about how we choose to shift our energy, how we choose to shift our mood. So, mood came up a lot. It doesn't matter exactly what's influencing your mood, but this kind of moodiness is a frequency and energy that laughter can cut right through. So this is what Spirit's been talking about: laughter, amusement, lightheartedness, light-mindedness. Now I have to tell you, even just yesterday, I felt off. I haven't felt off like that, I would say, in a few years, where it was just like, wow, I'm so off kilter. And so I know all the tricks of the trade to kind of get me back in center and alignment and moving forward, like kind of picking me up, putting me back on my feet and say, just move forward. The biggest thing that helps me, and I've got lots of tips and tricks, but creativity. If I can't, shift it as much as I want to shift it, if I sit down and I just start writing, that's helpful. If I start baking, that's helpful. For some of you, your creative expression is going to be through the clothes that you wear, or the painting, or doing painting or clay, or all kinds of creative things. So that really did help me to shift. And laughter is the best medicine. So, and that's what I mean by laughter cutting through the dark. The way that I see the energetics of laughter, if it's coming into the human energy field, it's almost like, depending on how depressed or how low or dense your energy feels, it's like shattering black glass. It just shatters that really hard, stuck place. Laughter does. So remember, in the 3D world, we have those energies of depression, of anxiety, of criticism, of judgment. I don't know, I listed a whole bunch here. Those are 3D realm frequencies. Do you know they don't have those frequencies in the 5D realm? Those frequencies don't exist. In those higher dimensions, those lower frequencies don't exist. However, you are here on the earth so that you can learn to work with those frequencies, and I wouldn't say override them. I wouldn't say ignore them, but how to kind of read the signals of the body when you are anxious or depressed or stressed. So that's why we're here in this earthly world. And we're not going to be able to break through that if we don't manage to keep bringing our own light through. And laughter is one of the big ways that you can bring that light from your spirit to come down into the body and start to uplift and heal, balance, and harmonize those deep hurt and wounds and trauma areas within your own body. So the energy of laughter, you can look it up and you can Google it. I'm a nurse, so I've learned about this for a long time in school. However, the dots they just don't connect if you're feeling pretty grumpy. It's just like, when you're feeling grumpy and somebody else is in a really good mood, doesn't that, in the past, it would just really bug me. Now it's like, I want to hang with that person. I want a little of whatever it is that they're taking. But it's like, what are you smiling about? So people who are really grumpy and that really low energy, it does really kind of want to shut things down. But so laughter, what it does is it instantly releases endorphins. So when I find a kind of a laugh or a giggle come to the surface, I feel after I laugh, this kind of rush of energy flow through my body. Well, the rush of energy are the endorphins, those good feeling hormones, the stress battling hormones of endorphins that surge through the body. Endorphins are natural painkillers. We did an exercise before where it was like, all right, you try to be in this mood and worry at the same time. It's impossible. And laughter has that same gift and ability. When you're laughing, you are so in the present moment. You can't be anywhere else. It pulls you instantly in the present moment. And I'm going to describe why that is as I go along. So, laughter is a strong coping mechanism. It can help break the cycle of harmful thinking. So I just kind of put everything in harmful thinking: judgment, criticism, fear, negativity, violence. All of those things are harmful, cyclic thinking. So laughter is the best medicine. And so it takes practice to reach for laughter when you're in those low places. So let's just think about a pilot and an airplane. They're going to be in that simulator And they're going to be practicing plane crash after plane crash after plane crash. They're going to practice the wind shears coming through and knocking the plane off of its altitude. They're going to, what if the plane's going in a tailspin? They're going to be in this simulator and they're going to be practicing over and over again. Just like astronauts, they're going to practice over and over again. Just like in a hospital, we would practice if there's a fire drill, or at the school there's a fire drill. You see what I'm saying? You're going to practice those things so that when you're in that state of emergency, you've got emergency negative thinking or painful thinking, you are already trained now to reach for that laughing energy. And so that you can reach for it without thinking, because when you get in those states of just feeling so low and awful, oh man, it's hard. It's like quicksand, it's like somebody's got to hand you a stick to help pull you out, because you can't even reach for a root or something on the side to pull yourself out of quicksand. So you want to do something long before you're deep in the quicksand. And laughter is the really good medicine to help you to do that. When you laugh with other people. So as I was writing this and thinking about this, now this isn't a topic that I miraculously came up with. I'm telling you, this is the topic that Spirit brings through and said, we're going to be really going through it, over especially the next 4 or 5 months, but the next 4 or 5 years. So laughter is going to be very good medicine. So laughing with other people. Do you remember those videos that were going around for a while, where I think it was on a train, and there's this person who just starts, they kind of pretend laugh. So right now, in the privacy of your own home, you can kind of start to kind of pretend laugh. Well, what it does is it triggers real laughter. So here it is on the train, one person's laughing and they're just giggling and giggling and giggling. They're not looking at their phone, they're doing nothing. And then all of a sudden the people next to them start giggling and laughing, and then the next. And then before you know it, the entire train cabin, car, is just hysterically crying. They're laughing so hard. And then the original person doesn't even have to laugh anymore, because that laughter gets erupted. It's very contagious. So I'm just going to talk about what's happening and why it gets so uplifted. It is a unifier. So laughter and humor and amusement unifies people. Colleen said her dad raised her on laughter. And then Heather saying, I grew up in a tense household, but remembering the Joneses laughing record, oh my gosh, always caused the breakthrough. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, seriousness in the home. So laughter has a number one big enemy, and the big enemy is seriousness. So the energy of seriousness puts a lid on laughter, playfulness, and silly games. Seriousness is an energy that wants to control those lighter energies. Seriousness is a contracting energy in your aura. It does not want the aura of anyone around them to expand. Okay? Serious grumpiness is like taking a big thumb and pressing down on your head while sucking all the energy out of the room. All right. So, and I'm going to talk about why this is happening, what this looks like in the human energy field. So why would seriousness be of benefit to anyone? Well, seriousness, we're kind of trained to believe that when you're serious, you're more responsible. If you're serious, you're more adult-like. If someone laughs and jokes a lot, we'll describe them as childlike, right? Seriousness is responsible, focused, more adult-like. We tend to think that people who are very serious are more grounded, and people who are silly and playful are less grounded. So, but before all of you think that you are now justified in always being silly, playful, and funny, that can be controlling as well. So there was a class that I was teaching, and I was guiding in a meditation. And as the energy was kind of dropping into that relaxed state, one of the students in the rooms just kind of burst out laughing and giggling. And then the whole class burst out laughing and giggling. And so everybody kind of got calmed down. And every time I tried to get the group to start kind of grounding more and bringing up that earth energy, that person would start to giggle. And then it would just be contagious, and it would just go around the room, and everybody would be laughing. So it was kind of okay after the second or third time. But after about the eighth time, it's not so funny anymore. So in looking at it and exploring it, finding out that yes, that person was raised in a very serious household. There wasn't room for laughter. And so every time it started to kind of calm down and come more into the body, for this person, they would become triggered or fearful that that it would drop into a state of seriousness. And if they dropped into that state of seriousness, they might get hurt or harmed by the adults in the household. And so every time in that group, we started kind of dropping into, I don't know that I would call it a serious state, but a very grounded state. That person would start to laugh a lot uncontrollably. And so just watch yourself. I was with a friend at the doctor a couple of weeks ago, and they use humor a lot to cope. And they were really, really, really sick, but it was hard for the doctor to interpret how sick they were because they kept making jokes about it. So know that that is a coping mechanism. And if it's too much, what are you avoiding looking at? If you're super ultra serious, and I'm going to say you probably wouldn't believe it now, but being the oldest child syndrome, as Yvonne calls it, it can tend to lean a little bit more on the serious side. So I've been working on my funny bone the last couple of years. All right, so what did I say? Oh, and again, you can flip the narrative. You can be really serious. There can be, some things coming up, but you can flip that. And I'm not talking about making things humorous, like the tragedies that are happening in the world. There's nothing funny about that. If somebody gets really hurt badly in a car accident, there's nothing funny about that. If you're in a violence situation and you're victimized by violence, there's nothing funny about that. So I'm not talking about shifting that kind of narrative quickly. What I am talking about is the client that I have where maybe they're talking about the same exact issue going on 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and it just can't shift. They're going to healers, they're massage therapists, they're going to counselors, they're going to whatever the rapid eye movement is, or physical exercise, like they're doing, they're going to see coaches and all this stuff. But that's the only thing that they can really have control over, is to shift that narrative in their own mind. Someone else can't shift it for them. So I'm talking about when you kind of have this long-term cyclic stuckness, I'll call it that to start bringing in laughter and humor can help you to break through that. There's a lot of things that can, but that does it instantly. All right, how are we doing? Good. So let me talk about, as a psychic clairvoyant, what does it look like in your human energy field? So post in the comment if you have, what do you call it, terminal seriousness. Do you have terminal seriousness? Because oh man, did I used to be so serious. So, all right. So Rebecca on YouTube is saying that she has a coworker who's a laughing coach. Oh my gosh. That is too funny. I love it. All right. So let's say in the human energy field, you're super grumpy, you're super serious, and you're in that state of stuck. So, and I'm going to do extreme seriousness, right? Extreme, I'm going to talk about here. The aura is tight on the top of the head. So the aura presses down on the head. You've got your crown. I can't do this. I'm looking backwards on my screen. So you've got your light, This is your spiritual light up here. You've got your mind here. And your aura is stuck to the top of your head, and it's cutting you off from your light. It's cutting you off from seriousness, from your spirit, because you've got to be serious, right? The mind's got to be serious. You don't go up if you want to be serious. You got to stay stuck in the mind. So the aura, it's like a swim cap. It's stuck on top of the head. Same with anxiety, same with depression, with stress. The aura can get really pulled down, tight compression around the head. But these are the cool parts. So, cutting you off from your higher self and only focusing on your mental self. The left side of a serious person, the left side of the energy field, is in a state of collapse, which indicates a disconnect from the feminine aspects of your energy field. The feminine divine is a lighter, finer frequency, intuitive, receptive frequency. Let me say that again. The feminine divine energy is a lighter, finer, intuitive, receptive energy, more easily prone to laughter. So the person who has that strong sense of seriousness, that whole left side of the body can be collapsed, or your feminine channels can be twisted, and we all have male and female energy. So I'll just say that. The feminine divine is lighter, prone to laughter. There's a larger, bounding, robust male energy on the right side with the person who is serious, which is all about action. And what I hear Spirit say is militant action. So how many of you are that super serious type that's very militant around you when people are like, stop acting up? Stop goofing off. This is serious. We've got work to do. We've got deadlines to meet. Are you in that militant way? Well, what's happening here is there's a big surge on the right side of the body. It's almost like the male divine channels are overly expanded. So it'd be like, on the left side, it's like the soaker hose, the feminine, the male side's like a fire hose. It's just too much male energy. When the masculine divine flow is in balance, it moves you to apply action to intuitive information. So you see you've got the male and female working together. Male divine energy helps you to feel more actively alive with a strong sense of purpose. So masculine divine is beautiful, as well as the feminine divine is beautiful. And then working together, it's amazing. So what happens then is the aura is tight around the top, it's collapsed on the left, and it's twisted, right? Flatten, collapse, twisted. Sounds lovely, right? That you have to twist yourself into that energetic state to keep that grumpy, to maintain that grumpy seriousness. All right, so what's happening in the energy field when you are laughing? All right. So when you're laughing, lighthearted, light-minded, your auric field is expanded. It's expansive. It's light. It's bright. Your higher self, located in the crown chakra, is super bright and illuminating like a sun, or what did I write in my paper? Like a lighthouse. This light up here starts pouring. When you laugh, it pours your higher soul light down into your body. It activates every single one of your chakras into a higher spin, higher states of movement, higher states of motion. Who doesn't need that right now? We need this right now. Those lower states are not going to get us there. I'm not saying we're not spiritually bypassing here, so don't name it that. You're still going to deal with your stuff, but I'm talking about when you've been dealing with it and you still can't shift it, try laughter. All right. Activates higher states. These higher active states of each chakra provides an opportunity for you to express your highest, best, most authentic self without doubts, without insecurities. The pouring light from spirit infuses through you to your grounding. Everything around you, in you, under your feet, above your head, shifts and expands your directions through choice. You have more choices. Surge of fresh energy infuses all, and here's my little nursing thing coming in. Fresh energy infuses all the organs in your body to include your brain and your nervous system, relaxing every cell of your body. Now, what if you can't laugh? What if it's just laughter's an energy. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a little meditation. We're going to ground and we're going to start releasing some seriousness. And then we're going to imagine and pretend that the laughter light of your crown chakra is going to get activated and it's just going to pour into every cell of your body. So if you do this, it will make it easier for you to get to those higher, lighter frequencies. All right, go ahead and close your eyes and turn within. I can feel you all sitting there, many of you with your eyes closed, with a big smile on your face. So it's already starting to work. Let your body know, say hello to your body and let your body know that you're going to let go of some old energy that causes you to collapse in seriousness. So let your body know. Please be a willing participant. I'm going to let go of some seriousness right now, some old seriousness, and bring in lighter laughter energy. Say hello to your own spirit, your higher self, and let your higher self know that in just a moment, you are going to ask your higher self, your spirit, to activate the frequency of laughter. So just let your spirit to know to help you activate with laughter. And in just a minute, we're going to do a couple of things first. Then go ahead and come up with an image for grounding. And this time, because we're trying to trigger that laughter funny bone, come up with some kind of crazy, silly, goofy type grounding. Any kind of grounding. It could be jugglers with balls. It could be fire breathers. It could be baton twirlers. It can be laughing goats. It can be anything that you want, but have it be extra funny and then connect this kind of funny, because grounding is serious, you know. We think grounding is serious. So grounding doesn't have to be serious. So go ahead and connect whatever image, playful imagination you've come up with, connect it around the hips and let it just pass through the floor where you are, through the earth's crust. Let gravity pull this very silly, goofy, but strong grounding all the way down to the center of the earth. Somebody said puppies or big clown shoes. I love it. Now, let's set your intention. Intention means you have a thought, action follows. So just say, I'm going to intend now that any old, outdated energy or memories that trigger seriousness, I'm going to set my intention that all that old triggering seriousness is going to liquefy and it's going to drain right down my grounding. State today's date, state how old you are over and over and over again as this old seriousness rises to the surface and drains down your grounding cord. Of all the hundreds of people that I can see out there with my clairvoyance, I don't see one of you wanting to hang on to that seriousness. It's pretty unanimous that it's time to let that go. You're in good company. Drop a little more seriousness down your grounding, a little bit more. I can see your auras are already starting to expand. So let's activate the energy of laughter. You do not have to laugh, although it might trigger laughter, but let's look at it as a pure frequency. So imagine and just know that your higher self is activating the laughter energy in a large ball of cosmic energy. And now let that start to just pour down, illuminating. Remember, I said like that lighthouse. It's going to illuminate your entire aura, your entire body. And as it flows down your arms, legs, down, you're grounding the center of the earth. It's almost like fans, machines being turned on. You can hear that woo. Each chakra is just boom, 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 as that laughter energy triggers it into higher states of movement and motion. This is the energy of laughter. The energy of laughter. I can sense a couple of you starting to feel a little nauseated, and that's because that seriousness does not want to let go, and just increase the strength of your grounding, and that form of nausea, just let it drain down your grounding. Present time, remind yourself of what today's date is, remind yourself of your age. That helps pull you into this present moment, especially when some old, outdated, stuck seriousness is hanging on for dear life. Just infuse a little bit more of that laughter frequency there. Perfect. Whew. I can feel you all broke through something. That's really good. Nice, nice. So that's a great start to this meditation. So just thank your body for its willingness to let go of seriousness and replace it with some laughter and amusement. Thank your spirit and ask your spirit to continue to help you throughout this entire day. Remember to bring laughter to everything that you do and every group that you're in. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Start moving your body around. So I'm certain that for many of you who were feeling like, whoa, I'm not sure that this feels very good. Well, if laughter doesn't feel good to you, it's because laughter is a high frequency and it's starting to break up those lower, denser 3D energies. So find all kinds of way to bring more laughter into your life. Find ways to help bring laughter into other people's lives as well. Just to let you know, we've got a huge spring equinox event coming up. They're usually not as kind of actively interesting as it is during the solstices, but I promise you this one is a big one. So we are going to be having it on March 19th. The link is below here for you to go ahead and get registered. We do have two forms of participating. One is more of a bundle of activities that we're going to do, including the reading, but you could also simply just register for the reading and be involved. Let's see if we can break that 200 registrant number. So we're going to be talking about more amusement next Thursday. So make sure mark your calendar and join me there. And I will really enjoy reading your comments about what you experienced as you were letting go of seriousness and you were letting your aura re-expand with the energy of laughter. All right, take care, everyone. I'll see you next week.